some of the newest tech products to look out for include smart rings, smart glasses, and smart helmets. I might need some help to understand what this all is, and that's where we find Dan Ye, who's going to help us into the wearable tech industry from CollegeNode. Dan, good to have you back on the show. So help me out. Everything's basically smart, so everything is tech, and I'm not even sure what some of the stuff is. What's a smart ring?
So it's a ring that you put on your finger, and the ring will detect your blood pulse, your oxygen level, and it will keep. It will be very handy when you're working out, or, for example, if you have a heart attack, instead of having to whip out your phone and dial 911, the ring will directly contact the hospital and tell them that you're having an emergency. So that could save you some life-saving, 15, 20 seconds.
It is really amazing how technologies, I guess in some ways, helped us improve our life, but also kind of raise the anxiety levels, because some of us, I don't want to know how high my heart rate is or all the health problems I have. Sometimes I just don't want to know, but then you think to yourself, well, the responsible thing to do is to know, or at least share that information with somebody. So security and tracking, all these things become increasingly important. Let's talk about sleep for a minute, because it's something that we talked about before, tracking people's sleep. I didn't know it was such a big thing until some of my friends started talking about it, but why is tracking sleep all of a sudden the hot thing to do?
Well, we sleep about 8-9 hours a evening, and when we're tracking the sleep, we go through sleep cycles. So when you have a device that can monitor how well you sleep during those cycles, you can actually do things that make you sleep better. Apparently, you can sleep 5 hours if you actually just focus on the REM sleep. And, it's a brand new field, but imagine if we can have 2 more hours of productivity out each day, how much would that worth, right?
Remember when Google first launched those Google glasses, and this is many years ago, but when they first launched it, everybody thought, oh, these are going to be the coolest things. We're going to wear it as anchors, and we can see the prompter through our glasses, and like all these things are going to just change our lives. And it was a complete poo-poo dud. I don't see anybody wearing it. I don't see anybody using it. I mean, it might be cool, but I don't know a single person that has used it and says, I love it, I need to have it. Is there a point where there's just too much tech, and why haven't these glasses worked?
Well, this was a decade ago, and the technology is not quite mature yet back then, but I do see the technology mature by now. So the reason you're seeing an explosion of wearables is because we have hit a critical point. In regards to the Google Glass, I do think that's the next frontier of wearables, because if you wear a ring or wear a wristwatch, it can already measure very few things, right? Your heartbeat, your blood level. But once you get to the head, when you're wearing a Google Glass, it can measure a lot more things. It can track where your eyeball's going. It can detect your emotion. And with that much more data, you can have new ways to interact with the web that otherwise you won't have. Since Steve Jobs invented the iPhone in 2007, our primary interaction with the internet is through this tiny screen. But now with wearables, we can have new dimensions of how we engage the World Wide Web, and that opens many doors.
I mean, I understand that, okay, some of these could be good for your life, but people are going to push back. There's going to be privacy issues. Look, if you came into my house and you were wearing wearable glasses with a little camera on it, I'd probably ask you to take it off, because I don't want you to record our conversation. I don't want you to, I would feel a little bit invaded, if you will. I mean, isn't there a line that's going to be crossed, if not already?
I think the thing you should be worried more about is the data that you give off to these corporations and what they're going to do with those data. Now, I don't own any wearable product specifically because of this concern. So let me give you an example. Let's say you're wearing this wearable ring, and the ring detects that on the 15th of each month at 4 p.m., your heartbeat goes up a little bit, and your happiness level goes up a little bit. And that is when you get paid each month. And armed with that data, companies can micro-target you. at 4 p.m. on the 15th each day and try to sell you stuff, right?
That
Now
is
that data belongs to
crazy.
yourself. Yeah, that is crazy, but that is what we're dealing with right now. So consumer must be really careful about their biometric data and how it's used and who is using them.